Day number 4 of fostering Egg the Greyhound. We've got an update on how he's doing with the stairs, having fun in the garden, jealous Jess and eager Egg battling it out trying to be first in line. I'm also going to be sharing a few pictures from his little photo shoot that we did in our home studio. Angie took these photos and I'll be showing them at the end, they're really worth waiting for. And a quick update on how we're doing with toilet training. The day started with a bit more staring out the front window, followed by some typical greyhound attention-seeking behaviour. That was a lot of breath right there. They enjoyed their ear rubs, and we actually had a nice day, as you can see from this photo I took in the morning. I think he was trying to lay in the sun, but he didn't quite manage it. But we did have another first, and this was his first roach with us. It was really lovely to see, because this just makes me feel like he's becoming more and more relaxed whilst he's with us. He didn't stay there for too long before rolling back over, but still, we'll take it as a win. As we did have a nice day, and we weren't going to the park because of the not so relaxing walk we had the day before, we went into the garden, and I thought I'd kick the ball around and see what he does. Turns out he's not really much of a chaser, but when you kick the ball towards him, it kind of triggers him to do some zoomies, so I thought I would do that and burn off some energy. That lasted about 3 minutes before he decided that was enough, so I ended up just running away from him and seeing if he'd follow me, and he did. I actually think he might be quite similar to Jess in some ways, in that he won't really chase a ball, he won't chase a toy, but he'd rather actually chase other dogs and play with other dogs. However, getting Jess to test this theory is harder than you'd probably imagine. And there's the tongue again. I feel like I just have to show this once every video because it's just brilliant. After this, it was time for his photo shoot, which was upstairs, and look at him fly up these now. It's not always like this, mind you. Sometimes he seems to forget that he's done stairs before. However, as soon as he has a go, he just does it. He walks straight into the studio, onto the bed, and he pretty much sat there for the entire time. Now Angie did 99.9% of this photo shoot on her own, which obviously means trying to get Egg to do what she wanted him to do and controlling the camera and all the settings at the same time, so she did really well, as you'll see in the photos. I then came in at the end to do a bit of yogurt nose dabbing, I'm going to say, as this just helped makes for some really good photos. I've seen other people throw treats up in the air and have the dog catch the treat. However, greyhounds are notoriously bad at catching food. Back down the stairs, going down is always a lot more difficult and takes a bit more time to get comfortable for greyhounds, I find. Egg is, however, managing really well and seemed pretty pleased with himself, and so he should. And so, after being a perfect model for the afternoon and tackling the stairs, it was time for an ugly nap. He does love a bit of fuss, and I think he's a mummy's boy. Those aren't my hands, just FYI. Big stretches. And we're continuing to do the positive reinforcement when he goes to the toilet outside, which does seem to be working as the house accidents are reducing daily. Anyway, that was it for day 4, and now I'll show you his photos.